We're going to talk about the prophet Micah today, and I will warn you ahead of time, I may call him Micah because that's how we say it in the US, and so I might just fall into that. So this is a prophet who lived about the same time as Isaiah, although he preached to good king Jotham, very evil king Ahaz, and then a great king Hezekiah, one of the three of the best kings of Judah. And so he preached in three different kinds of times. And we don't know if he preached to Manasseh's time or not, because we just don't read about that. But I love reading him. He has lots of profound things to say about very different subjects. So here's one that I like. Listen to what he says about false prophets. Listen to this. If a man of wind comes and invents lies, I will preach to you about wine and beer. He would be just the preacher for this people. In other words, they don't want a prophet who tells them the truth. They want a prophet who says, go out and drink some wine and drink some beer. But that's not the way it's going to be. In fact, in the reality, Micah is telling them that judgment is coming. And so you read a lot about that. And why is God judging them? Well, one thing is because they are unjust. They are terrible. They do awful things to others. They cheat people. They don't give the wages to the workers that are due the workers. And so Micah really speaks to this in a way that's very powerful and to the point. Lots about social justice in Israel. And he does a super good job of it. It's very profound, touches your heart. He also has a verse that you know. I'm sure you know this verse. It's from Micah chapter 5, verse 2. Bethlehem Ephrathah, you are small among the clans of Judah. One will come from you to be ruler over Israel for me. His origin is from antiquity, from eternity. Therefore, he will abandon them until the time when she who is in labor has given birth. Then the rest of his brothers will return to the people of Israel. He will stand and shepherd them in the strength of Yahweh, in the majestic name of Yahweh, his God. They will live securely, for then his greatness will extend to the ends of the earth. He will be their peace. Super famous messianic prophecy about the coming of Jesus Christ, where he would be born. Remember when the kings came to King Herod and said, where is he who is going to be the king of the Jews? And they looked up in the scriptures and said, oh, he's going to be born in Bethlehem. Well, where did they look? They looked right here in this passage in Micah, because Micah tells us where the Messiah would be born. It's a great passage. So Micah has prophecies about the Messiah. He has prophecies about God's justice. He has prophecies about the fact that Israel is going to be taken into captivity. And then finally, that Judah will also be taken into captivity because of their sin. And so Micah has wonderful prophecies, talks a lot about justice, and he also has messianic prophecies. And I hope that as you read him, you would really appreciate reading the whole book because it's very profound. As long as you remember that you read it as a commentary on the things that were happening in God's great salvation story at the time that Micah spoke them and then wrote them.